Hi everyone, my name is Cindy, aka Z9designs. Today is Crafting Through Christmas, and I have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, so keep watching to find out what it is. DIY number 1, a Nutcracker Christmas ornament. The supplies needed include 5 by 2.5 pieces of wood, air-dried clay, red, white, and black acrylic paint, antique gold rub and buff, a nutcracker and rope mold, and a stencil. I painted the piece of wood red, and then I used a crisscross stencil and I just stippled it in white. Now, it is not what you would call crisp, but it gives like an aged look. On the opposite side of the wood piece, I also used a stencil to make a pattern down the middle, and it looks really pretty. I massaged some air-dried clay to put it in the nutcracker mold. And when I thought all the details were molded, I removed it and it looked pretty good. The mold is not necessarily a firm mold. It's kind of flexible. Probably you can use it for putting nutcrackers on a cake or something. But anyway, I thought it looked okay. I let it dry overnight and then I began painting the details. And the hat, the eyebrows, and the cuffs, and the hair, and the boots. And I painted all of those things black. And the face was painted tan. The coat was painted red along with some of the other details. And when it was all done, rub and buff was put over the entire nutcracker. So the details in the hat and the coat stood out. An opening was punched at the top for the jute string to hang on the Christmas tree. So I just took a punch and punched a hole at the top with my punch. Then, had to be a little special, so I added some clay in a rope mold. And I put it at the top and the bottom of the wood piece. And then I had to put an opening in the clay because it had to go through the clay and through the wood so that the jute could be threaded in as a hanger. And the nutcracker was glued to the wood with wood glue. And this gives an old world look for an old-timey Christmas. And I think it looks good. And then on the opposite side, it's very plain, but has some detail that gives it a nice look. A little more of a modern look. Let me know what you think. DIY number 2, a mini picture frame ornament. The supplies needed include 2 mini wooden picture frames, a wood piece 2 by 5/8 by 3 5/8, a picture of a bell with some greenery on it, air-dried clay, picture frame and snowflake mold, black, white, and green acrylic paint, stencil, a word stamp, gold beads, hot and wood glue, a white ribbon, and some antique gold rub-and buff. These wood pieces are too cute not to use for a two-sided Christmas ornament. I painted both frames with black acrylic paint. And next, on one side of the insert was painted green with the word stamp dipped in white paint. And this kind of gave it a little antique look, or maybe a French look. Not sure. You let me know. On the other side, I found a picture of a bell with greenery that said a Merry Christmas at the bottom. And this was also an old world look. I got the picture, cut it out, and glued it on the other side. Then it was time to put it together. So I glued the two frames together with some wood glue. I used a little reptile adhesive also. And I added some gold beads at the bottom. I just threaded them through a skewer and glued them to the inside of the frame. Now, they are not fluid. They don't move. They are stiff. And I thought, most of the time you always see, the beads, and they swing back and forth, and then they have some tassel hanging at the end. I didn't do that. I mean, you could if you wanted to. And when it was dry, I glued the green painted oval frame made from the air-dried clay to the green side. I used rub and buff to give it an old world look. Inside the frame, I glued a white snowflake in the middle of the oval frame. And then I added a white bow at the top along with a black string to hang on your tree. Now, how cute is that? I think it's different. May not be your aesthetic, but it is someone's. And I think it looks unique. DIY number 3, a hand-painted Christmas wreath on canvas. The supplies needed include a black 8x10 canvas, some paint brushes, red, white, gold, and green acrylic paint. So I removed the paper from the black canvas and took a round object and made a circle in the middle. Now, it was not perfect, but it doesn't have to be because paint covers a multitude of errors. But it was enough for me to begin to paint the white wreath. The reason why I wanted the wreath to be white, because the background was black, and I got this canvas from Dollar Tree, and green kind of will just disappear. So the white, I think, looks really nice. So I kept dipping my paintbrush into the white acrylic paint and just began stippling on the outside of the circle. And this was done until it was large enough for the canvas. I didn't want to go outside the canvas. I wanted it to still look like a circle, but I wanted it white. And once it was taking some form, then I began to make it larger without going outside of the canvas. Now you can make the wreath green, gold, or any other color, but I wanted this one to show up on the black canvas. I think pink would have been really cute too. Next, I took a red plastic cup and defined the wreath a little bit better. Then it was time to add some greenery to the bottom half of the wreath. I didn't want it all over. I just kept adding green and white stems all along the bottom. And you just need to keep adding them until you have enough, until it looks sort of thick. And you put some stems going down and some going up. I don't know if I did a really good job at that, but I think it looks pretty good. But then I thought, I think a really cute bow would look really nice at the bottom. And I forgot to mention that, but I used a wall decal that Dollar Tree had, and they had different types of bows on the wall decals. And at the time, the wall decal is just plain. When you put it on the canvas, it just kind of disappears, but you can see little details. Well, I thought, maybe I could paint it. So I took some red acrylic paint and I followed the details on the bowl at the bottom. And the nice thing about it, you could see all of the details because the red paint didn't cover it completely, but it painted it enough so you saw a nice, beautiful bow. However, I wasn't done yet. I took some gold paint and I made some circles appearing as if they were Christmas bulbs or lights. This really brought the painting to life. So you have to let me know what you think about it. Crafting Through Christmas is hosted by DIY with Aria and Z9designs. There are others that will be participating, so make sure you follow them. The playlist is in the description box below. Now, if you have liked what you've seen, please subscribe, like, save, and comment. I love Christmas, and this is a great collaboration. Forces me to think outside the box for different types of Christmas decor or ornaments. Crafting is satisfying, and I love encouraging comments. Also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Facebook. And thanks for watching each week. I appreciate all of my subscribers. Remember, the beauty of peace is trying to find solutions together. This is by Decor, Abdi, Kenya, and Somalia. See you later. Bye-bye.